Will the Toronto Maple Leafs finally slay their Bruins demons and ride that wave to the parade they've been in search of for over 50 years? It is truly the most wonderful time of the hockey year. The first round of the playoffs is an endless bounty of thrills, and the second season kicks off on Saturday with the arrival of the 2024 Stanley Cup Playoffs. On this edition of the Sportsnet Power Rankings, we are examining the 16-team field and identifying a few squads, and there are a few, from both the Western and Eastern Conference draws that have what it takes to go all the way. Let's start out west with the Dallas Stars. This is the most balanced squad in the league, as evidenced by the fact the Stars had 8 players who scored at least 20 goals. Dallas has an incredible mix of guys at the beginning, middle, and end of their careers. The defense is bolstered by trade deadline acquisition Chris Tanev, and goalie Jake Ottinger has been playing by far his best hockey of the year coming down the stretch. Watch out for the Stars. The next team we're going to talk about is the Edmonton Oilers. It is wild to remember the Oilers began this season 2-9-1 and made the coaching change to bring in Chris Knobloch. Since that time, Edmonton has been one of the best teams in the NHL. And in the second half of the season, as you likely know, Connor McDavid has been an absolute beast, even by his standards. The real difference in Edmonton this year, though, might be the ability of role players like Warren Foegele and Corey Perry to pitch in more than the supporting cast used to. If Edmonton can get strong play beyond its megastars, this could be the year in Northern Alberta. Listen, with Nathan MacKinnon playing at an MVP level, you have to put Colorado on any list of potential cup contenders. With MacKinnon, Cale Makar, and Mikko Rantanen leading the way, the Avs hope they have enough to make up for what's been some spotty goaltending at times this year from Alexander Georgiev. And, of course, we have to carve out a little time for the Vegas Golden Knights. After teetering on the playoff bubble for weeks, the Knights are getting healthy at the right time, and it would shock nobody if they went on to defend their 2023 title. Moving over to the East, you can't help but wonder if the Carolina Hurricanes' time has finally come. This team lost 4 one-goal games to the Florida Panthers, including the first 2 in overtime in the East Final last year. And recall, the Canes lost top sniper Andrei Svechnikov to a knee injury right before the playoffs began. This time out, they've got Sebastian Aho leading the attack, with trade deadline acquisition Jake Gensel adding a whole new layer to the offense. Goaltending was a question early on for this team, but Peter Kochetkov has looked great for months, and Frederik Andersen has looked fantastic since returning from an extended absence due to a blood clot. Maybe, just maybe, this is finally the Canes' year. As we just noted, the Florida Panthers swept Carolina in the East Final last year and made it all the way to the Cup Final as the lowest seeded team in the East. The Cats won't be sneaking up on anybody this year, but they don't have to. With two-way stud Alexander Barkov, winger Matthew Tkachuk, a man made for the playoffs, and 50-goal guy Sam Reinhart, Florida will plow through your front door and punch you right in the teeth. The Panthers are absolutely capable of finishing the job this year. We can't go any further without talking about the team that finished with more points than anyone else in the regular season, the New York Rangers. Goalie Igor Shesterkin really found his game in the back half of the season, and the Rangers are a top club in terms of both goals for per game and goals against. Coach Peter Laviolette has already led 3 other teams to the Stanley Cup final, and hey, it is the 30th anniversary of the Mark Messier-led squad that finished first overall and went on to win the 1994 title on Broadway. The Boston Bruins, of course, finished first overall last year and set a new NHL record with 135 points, but that still couldn't stop them from being upset in round 1 by Florida. Can the Bees' top-notch goaltending and smothering approach help them make good 1 year later? Or will the Toronto Maple Leafs, Boston's first-round opponent, finally slay their Bruins demons and ride that wave along with their high-end talent to the parade they've been in search of for over 50 years? Now let's do a quick ranking of every team in the playoffs. We touched on Toronto briefly. The big question will be, how many goals can Austin Matthews get once the playoffs start? Great job by Vancouver winning the Pacific. Can the Canucks parlay that into postseason success? Okay, I'm Ryan Dixon. Everything is in play during the first round of the playoffs, so enjoy the action and come back here all spring long for the Sportsnet Power Rankings.